Hi, my name is Lauren, and welcome to Some Things You Should Know. The first thing you should know. There have been updates from the Germanwings plane crash that happened last week. For those of you who are not up to date on the news, Andreas Lubitz, co-pilot of Germanwings Flight 9525, locked the pilot out of the cockpit and intentionally crashed the plane en route from Barcelona to Dusseldorf. All 150 passengers and crew were killed on impact when a plane struck the mountain in the French Alps. Reports indicate that Lubitz had suffered from depression 6 years prior during his time in flight school, but later resumed his training and was cleared to fly. French prosecutors say this might be involuntary murder, while others say his actions can be considered premeditated murder. Lubitz's online search history shows that he searched suicide methods and the cockpit locking mechanisms before he died. As of now, 78 victims have been identified through DNA tests, and investigators are still searching for the intentions behind the crash. Rumors have surfaced over the past few days claiming cell phone footage depicting the last moments of the flight was recovered, but those reports have been dismissed as a hoax. French investigators are looking at how the 2001 changes in locking cockpits from the inside to deter terrorist attacks led to this tragedy. On Thursday, the black box was found by the search team, and data records show that Lubitz accelerated the plane on its descent into the mountain. The Germanwings parent company Lufthansa has set aside $300 million to deal with any legal issues pertaining to the crash. The second thing you should know. On Tuesday in Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan lost the election to General Muhammadu Buhari, making it the first time in Nigerian history that an incumbent politician lost a democratic election. President Jonathan is part of the People's Democratic Party, which has dominated Nigerian politics since 1999. President-elect Buhari was the military ruler of Nigeria from 1984 until 1985, when he was forced out of power by a military coup. Buhari won the current election with 15.4 million votes to Jonathan's 12.9 million. Buhari is part of the All Progressives Congress Party and received praise from many international leaders for his peaceful election and his plans for Nigeria. Buhari promised to be tough on corruption and stand strong against Boko Haram. Boko Haram is an Islamic terrorist group that initially had ties to Al-Qaeda, but last month pledged its allegiance to ISIL. You might remember them from last year when they kidnapped Nigerian schoolgirls and held them hostage. Boko Haram is responsible for many deaths in their effort to create an Islamic state. The elections in Nigeria were postponed for 6 weeks because it was unlikely that soldiers could provide security for the elections and fight Boko Haram. Nigeria is known as one of the giants of Africa because of its large population and economy. Also, if you search Nigerian online, one of the options that comes down in the drop-down menu is Nigerian dwarf goats that are absolutely adorable, and I highly recommend you look them up. The third thing you should know. Those involved in the Iran nuclear talks have been procrastinating like college students with a Netflix account. For the past 2 years, world powers have been trying to figure out how to handle Iran's nuclear facilities. Basically, Iran wants to keep them while the rest of the world disagrees. On Thursday, it was announced that after 8 days and 8 nights of talks, a plan has been developed for limiting Iran's nuclear program, including its ability to produce nuclear weapons over the next 15 years. While others have supported the unprecedented framework, Israel is unhappy, believing that it doesn't limit Iran's power in such a way that it will diminish Iran's threat to their state. But it's not done yet. They've still left specific issues to be dealt with in June, when their final agreement is actually due. The fourth thing you should know. California's in a drought. What? That's crazy talk. All I can say is that it must be a big deal when it's on the front page of the BBC. Why is this suddenly important after 4 years of drought? On Wednesday, Governor Jerry Brown signed California's statewide mandatory water restrictions to reduce water usage by 20%. The governor signed this after record-low snowfalls indicated that the drought had reached almost crisis-level proportions. He hopes this will be very impactful in conserving water and dealing with the current climate change issues. This is different than the actions taken by Florida's politicians, who have simply banned the topic of climate change. They'll just have to find some other way to deal with their nuisance flooding without talking about it. The fifth thing you should know. The guy that invented the pet rock has passed away. His name was Gary Dahl, and he created the pet rock in the 1970s. If I had a pet rock, his name would be Harold, after the duck that lives outside my home. And try as I might, I have yet to be successful in getting Harold the duck to come inside. And those are some things you should know. Until next time, I'm Lauren. Have a great weekend, everyone, and by everyone, I mean, hi, Mom and Dad. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.